Hey YouTube, Parson Rick here. I'm smoking the Samuel Gawith Firedance Flake in my Savinelli Rossi 616KS. I'm giving the Gawith a good try here. So drying out better. Still have problems keeping it lit. Tastes okay. I did have my brick and mortar gave me a sample of Savinelli's Doubloon d'Oro, gold doubloons, I guess, and just basically one bowl full, and I liked it. It was pretty good. A very pleasant smoke, and so if you've tried it and liked it, that's cool. I'm gonna have to get some. Of course, I've got 4, 12, 24. I've got about 40 jars of tobacco and about 8 tins. I think I'm good because I don't smoke hardly at all. Maybe a bowl every couple of days, and I just don't have time. And I was kind of feeling that crunch tonight. That got so much going on, so much to do. What the heck? I'll go smoke some tobacco with some friends. So, if you're out there, I hope you got something lit up. If not, here, take a hit. Oops, sorry, wrong smoke. Never really outgrow the old days, I guess. So, lighting my cedar stick here. Excuse me. Lightweight. For those of you who don't know, my son got me this for Christmas, and he also got me a beeswax candle, and we've been lighting with cedar strips. So this pipe here has never seen a lighter, and probably only a couple of matches. I do have the filter in it, the Savinelli filter that came with it. I thought, well, why not? I've got a Savinelli, my unfinished. This one is browning up nice. It will take the filter, but I've never put one in it. Smokes just fine without. And there's a little insert that comes with your Savinellis that if you're not going to use the filter, you put this little insert in there and it tightens up your airway. So yeah, this Firedance, is that right, Rick? Yeah, this Firedance Flake's doing a lot better today. It's about 2 weeks now almost since I opened it. First night I had a heck of a time. I ended up dumping part of it out, and like 3/4 of it was untouched. I just crumbled it up and put it back in the jar, and then I broke everything apart and put it in there. It's still a little kind of twiggy in there, but I still don't know what I'm doing, so I'm happy with it. This is one of my favorite hats. It used to say Cape Breton right up there. Several years ago, my wife and I went up to Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, Brunswick. But the lettering's almost all gone now. This is one of the few stocking caps that stays on my little bullet head. I always used to make fun of my dad. He wore a size 8. And guess who wears a size 8 now? Got a round head just like him. Don't wear hats very often because I always thought it would speed up the balding process. But now, the job I have now, I have to wear a hard hat. Fortunately, I only have to wear the hard hat when I go out in the plant. And in the last few weeks, I haven't had to do that very often, so that's been good. Keep what little I have left. I did get a haircut. I got rid of that shaggy mop. It was driving me up the wall. I used to wear it long, of course, and when I showed up for basic training in the Air Force, I had about a foot-long ponytail. Get off the airplane and they're yelling at us to get on the buses, and I'd been up for 2 days. Hadn't eaten because I was cutting weight to make sure I weighed in correctly. And standing in this line waiting to get on this bus. Our plane had been delayed, which cost me another 3 days. And basically we had to do 3 more days than standard. And heard this voice behind me. Heard this voice behind me go, "Excuse me, ma'am, y'all on the wrong line." Before I turned around, I invited him to go copulate with himself. Bad choice. He was my drill instructor. Next 8 weeks or whatever it was. He was kind of on my case, but I was actually older than him. And he didn't like me much. Kept calling me Airman Elvis because I couldn't remember to button my shirt. A pretty big boy. And but we had 2 drill instructors, and this guy was the junior of the 2, and the other guy just thought I was awesome. Oh, he made me a squad leader and all that. And that other guy, he'd be riding my case. And finally one day he called me into his office and he goes, "Airman Clone, nothing much bothers you, does it?" No, man, I'm just doing a job here, trying to get out, support my family. He left me alone after that. A couple of guys were, a couple other videos talking about, regrets and paths not taken. I had a congressional appointment to any military academy I chose. Heck, I just missed Vietnam. No way am I going to go in the military and have some yahoo tell me what to do. So I went out and got a job and had some yahoo telling me what to do. So I enlisted at 25. I would have been a retired officer by now, or kicked out or dead. Probably got fragged. Oh well. C'est la vie. Yeah, having trouble keeping this thing lit. This Samuel Gawith, for me, I really have to keep on top of it. So like, Steven or Ben, any of you guys, if you were here with me, we'd take turns talking. And could keep my pipe lit. I was talking to my daughter the other day, and you know, I was a preacher for a long time, and a teacher, and all that stuff. And you never really know if you're getting through to your audience. YouTube's kind of like that, except I can see that I'm talking to somebody who knows exactly what I'm speaking about. He grasps my influences, my innuendos, my injunctions, all this little stuff. The guy that's looking at me right now, he's on board. He's on board with me. Now, if this was just a mirror, or say I was walking down the street, people would think I was odd. Or more correctly, you young folks don't know this, but back in the day, if you saw somebody walking down the street having a conversation, there was something peculiar about him. But now, he's on Bluetooth. Did you know that a lot of people who are peculiar have Bluetooths just so they get away with talking to themselves? It's true. It's a fact. I just told you. And so one of the things that making YouTube videos does for you, if you haven't really gone into it, some of you guys, I watched a couple of new guys today on their first video and stuff like that. Just talk to yourself like you would a friend, because that guy you're looking at, he agrees with you. He's right on board with whatever you're saying. I only know like 2 people in the whole world that understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking. That's because they're my kids and they've been raised listening to it. So, if you're wondering about whether you should have kids or not, well, it depends on if you want to have somebody to talk to. I'm hoping that one of these days, when I'm in the old, holy cow, 12 minutes, when I'm in the old folks' home, they'll come by and talk. This just isn't down to a point where it's not working. So, sorry for running you so long. You've probably already tuned out by now. But if you've skipped ahead to see if there's anything worth listening to at the end, there's not. So, have a good night. God bless.